This is a second stimulus check update. So far, nothing has been approved, no pen to paper, just talks. To give you an update of what's going on, basically, Senate Republicans want two things in the bill. They want payroll tax cut, which will give working Americans bigger paychecks because things like Social Security, Medicaid, that's going to be withheld, which will give an American worker a bigger paycheck, assuming everyone's going back to work. So that only helps the workers. And then Mitch McConnell wants liability protections to prevent lawsuits from happening with businesses like employees getting sick in the workplace. I agree with this. I think this is also good during a functioning economy, which we don't really have so much right now. And once again, Republicans and Democrats are head to head with completely different views of what's going on. So Republicans predict a sharp, quick rebound, while Democrats foresee a slow, painful road back. I admire the optimism of Republicans. I really do hope it is a quick, sharp rebound. GOP lawmakers want to do away with relief programs such as the $600 expanded unemployment insurance. So under the CARES Act, they have that going until July, but they want to, in the HEROES Act, they want to extend it until January. So really important fact here I want to point out to you is that millions of people, according to Fast Company, still have not received their unemployment checks. So a lot of states are backed up. So there's 36.5 million Americans who filed for unemployment, which is close to 15%. It's 14.7%. So according to the Department of Labor, 56% of unemployment claims have been processed and paid nationwide. That means 44% of this 36 million, which is around 15 million people, haven't received their unemployment checks. It just came out yesterday, so these are the states. So this is the percent of unemployment checks that have been paid. And so if we look at places like California, where 41% has been paid, that means 59% of people who claimed unemployment are not receiving their checks. In a state like California with a high cost of living, that is a serious issue. And Republicans, including President Trump, pronounced the bill dead on arrival. Now, I want to clarify what this means. Basically, the HEROES Act, what they put forward, let me bring it up here. All of these numbers here is what Senate Republicans are talking about. The billions of dollars going to each of these categories. What Senate Republicans are not saying, and what I think the media is doing a poor job of, is that the direct payments to Americans, which is pretty much what every American citizen cares about. They don't really care about all these numbers and categories, but the $1,200 direct payment, Senate Republicans do not have a problem with. And Senate Republicans can still change that $1,200 one-time payment and make it a higher payment or possibly a recurring payment. And just to be clear, if you haven't watched any of my other videos, I'm an independent, I'm not Republican or Democrat. I believe in values and principles on both sides. So the information I'm providing you is unbiased. I'm just presenting the facts. Now, if we look at this headline here by The Hill, House Democrats' HEROES Act is a giant political scam. There is truth to this. So as I mentioned, looking at this, there is a lot of categories and high spending in non-pandemic related issues. As I mentioned, the American people only care about one thing: not getting evicted and being able to provide food for their families, which is what a direct payment will do for the people. And I think it should be higher than $1,200, and it should be on a recurring basis. I did a video the other day talking about Canada, how Canada is giving $1,400 per month, and it's on a 4-month recurring basis. And then at the end of the 4 months, they're going to decide what's going on, compared to America giving a one-time payment of $1,200 and then waiting 6 to 8 weeks before even deciding if another one-time payment of $1,200 should be given. Looking at the amount of money and where this money is going, a lot of money could be slashed, and categories can completely be cut and provide more money to Americans. But I think what the Democrats are doing, this was a bold and passive-aggressive move, which sets the tone for a hostile negotiation between Democrats and Republicans, which basically makes the Republicans seem like the bad guy because they're criticizing these numbers but not the direct payment to Americans. If Democrats and Republicans really cared about the people, they would take a bill like this that is semi-important, put that to the side, and just focus on a bill of direct payment to Americans. And regardless of your party, Democrat, Republican, let's just drop the label. What's really going on here is rich people are talking, poor people are suffering. So there was a study done in MarketWatch. It says In 8 of 10 top cities, the economic impact payment only covers 60 to 71% of estimated monthly budget for 4. The stimulus payment will cover 50% or more 1 month's estimated expenses in just 34 of the top 98 metropolitan areas. Basically, it's saying $1,200 is not going to cut it. And unfortunately, when it comes to a second stimulus check, nothing is going to be seriously negotiated, at least for another week or so. The reason why is because by the end of this week, Friday, is another state work period, so May 25th to the 29th, for the Senate. This is according to Senate.gov. They just had a state work period a few weeks ago. Now they're having another one, and by the time they get back June 1st, they only have a few weeks, and then July 3rd, they have another state work period. Fun fact, state work period used to be called recess, but they changed it to state work period because I guess it sounds more serious. During this state work period, they're actually not obligated to do any work. They could do whatever they want. They're supposed to go back to their district and reach out to the district, do town halls. I haven't seen any town halls by congressmen, senate, or anything in my area. Let me know if you have in your area. Next, let's talk about the congressional hearing yesterday between Jerome Powell, Steve Mnuchin. So Jerome Powell is the Federal Reserve Chairman. Steve Mnuchin is Treasury Secretary. Outlined contrasting perils facing economy. Basically, they have totally different points of views. I'll just break this down really quick for you. To sum it up, Steve Mnuchin is favoring the wait and see approach and see what happens over this next week or so in terms of helping the economy. And Jerome Powell thinks that more money should be needed. President Trump says we're going to have a really good third quarter. It's already happening. And you see what's going on. We're opening up. This is true. States are opening up. But Mr. Powell has a contrasting belief saying that the trade-off between economic growth and protecting the public's health. Fear of coronavirus infection is the economy's biggest hurdle, he said, and the recovery will be held back until Americans believe it's safe to resume commercial activities involving person-to-person contact. So unless the lockdown is completely gone, the virus is completely gone, Jerome Powell is saying we won't have a functioning economy where people feel safe enough to go back to work. If you want to watch more second stimulus check updates, you could click this playlist over here. It talks about the latest of what's going on, or click this video over here, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.